Hey, this is Joseph Lebrec, and today I want to show how to use the 64-bit Harman version of Air for Android inside of the new release of Adobe Animate. So let's just create a new Air for Android project. I'm going to click Create New here, and then under the Advanced tab, find Air for Android. There it is. And then Create. This is going to create a new document for us that targets Air for Android. So if we look right now under More Settings for our Publish settings, what we can see is that we've got Air 32 for Android, which is not 16-bit. This is the version of Air from Adobe, and it's still 32-bit. So what we need to do is actually add this in to Animate, and we can do that the same way we always do through the Help menu, the Manage Adobe Air SDK, and we can see here we've definitely got version 32, which comes shipped with Adobe Animate 2020. So we're going to need to add a new SDK. Popping over to the web browser, we go to airsdk.harman.com. So Adobe Air is now provided by Harman. All you need to do is go to this download link here and accept the terms of their license agreement. You should definitely read the license agreement before you accept the terms, of course. And then from here, you can download the appropriate SDK for Windows or Mac OS. And it comes in two flavors, the full Air SDK with ActionScript compiler, or the one specific for Flex. So what you're going to want for Animate is the Air SDK for Windows or the Air SDK for Mac with the new ActionScript compiler. You just click on that, it'll download to your local machine. Once it's downloaded, you want to extract it. So extract that zip file to a place of your choosing on your local hard drive. Don't mess with any of the folders or files in here, or you could mess stuff up. But there are things like release notes that go over what's new in version 33, the 64-bit version of Air SDK for Android. All right, now we're back inside of Adobe Animate, and we can click on this plus button here in the Manage Adobe Air SDK to add a new SDK. I'm going to go to my downloads, and there's my Air SDK _ Windows. Select folder. All right, so we can see this is version 33 of the Air SDK. I'm going to hit OK now. And then back in our Publish settings, let's go to More Settings. And our target is still Air 32, but we can now change that to Air 33 for Android. There we go. Now, how do we ensure that we actually export targeting 64-bit Air for Android apps? The way you do that is through this little wrench icon right here. And notice we have ARM version 7, which is 32-bit. We have Intel x86, which is also 32-bit. But Animate 2020 comes with this additional option to use ARM version 8, which is 64-bit. With these changes made, we can now publish 64-bit applications for Android.